Perfect now.
Hey man, first of
Good,
all,
good.
man,
How's the brother, man? How's the brothers doing, man? Thank you for having me, man. Thank you
Doing
for
well,
having me.
King. Doing well.
Yes,
first of
sir.
all, I gotta say, man, Happy New Year. Appreciate you coming
Thank you,
on.
brother. You too. You
Hey man,
too, man.
I want to jump right into it, Bill. I want to go back when you and Dev went down to the fight between Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. That fight was the for the mandatory to fight Devin. So
Absolutely.
big anticipation, you know. With that being said, how disappointed were you when Ryan had started talking Tank Davis' name instead of going for the mandatory with Devin Haney?
I mean, you kind of get a feel of in this business, the fight. You're not in the fight until the two guys are in the ring. So we went down there with with optimism that, of course, if you're fighting Luke Campbell in such a dangerous, quote unquote dangerous fight, that obviously you're fighting for the mandatory to fight for the world title. So for them to then announce that they were looking at Tank Davis and not looking at a world championship, and then for him to come back then and say that he's not interested in belts, it's not about belts. It just I think the conflicting statements lead more to Devin being, the fighter that's in front of him, and Devin versus him actually me weighing what he's saying as being valid or credible. Outside of that, his honesty and his truthfulness, you know what I mean, I can appreciate that he's definitely telling the truth, that Devin is not no walkover or no pushover. So as him being an interim champ, we can't force him in the ring, but he can force Devin in the ring.
You know, with that being said, Bill, you know, with your relationship with the WBC, with Devin coming up through the ranks, getting with the WBC youth belt in the interim, and then the official WBC title, how do you feel about your relationship with the WBC? Like, for example, when they had first came out, you know, it was only going to be one franchise champion, then they gave it to T.O. Did you feel a certain way, you know, just going back with your relationship coming up with the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman?
I mean, I have mixed emotions involved in that, but I do have resiliency, and mental fortitude to keep pushing. You know what I mean? As representing my son and representing our company, you know what I mean. Nothing is going to stop us. The politics that they say are politics is just a game that we play every day in life. Of just me being, a black man that's trying to, hold down my family. So, those obstacles are just part of doing business. When you come up out of the streets, especially the streets of Oakland, you know what I mean, having an opportunity to get on here with you brothers on this platform, wonderful platform that you got as well too. I need to tell you, can't reiterate that enough to you guys, man, that you guys are a part of this whole thing, this machine, and you're not just fans. You're actually media. You're driving messages for fighters that sometimes don't have a voice. That gets on the mainstream or old media or some of the bigger traditional platforms, brother. So every time that you take time out to give opportunities, whether it's to us or whether to those young fighters, you know what I mean, coming up in the game, or these older fighters who are looking to get back in the game, you know what I mean, we can't thank you enough. You hear me? About On the Ropes with Zeb is he wanted to do this shit in private, and I told him, listen here, I don't come through Baltimore. I don't come through DC. You know what I mean? Tiptoeing. I don't come through that motherfucker like, you know what I mean, trying to just come unannounced. I come announced. And if you're gonna say anything about any fighter that's anywhere near Zed, you dig what I'm saying? He can get it too. But now I didn't know what you was gonna talk about. So come on, JB.
Oh yeah, let me just ask you straight up, like the names that don't really want a piece of them. Like you just said, Ryan don't want to fight him. T.O. don't want to fight him. And then you got Zones talking about he really not that marketable.
Well, do you know somebody that want to fight him, JB?
Yo, I would like to see him fight somebody, my G. Like honestly, man. I would like to see him actually get that name, get a chance in Lomachenko like T.O. did. Have T.O. come up, legitimize that belt. You know what I'm saying? But they really are making it so belts aren't significant right now. Because the way
what part of the world are you in right now, JB?
I'm in LA.
Oh, you right here. You in the West Coast, man. So you
Yeah, he
know
on the
what it
West
is.
Coast. He on the West
Yeah, you
Side.
know what it is, man. You
From
right here.
DC. I'm from DC though.
Oh, you from DC?
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
tell you had some DC. I knew. I didn't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get too comfortable with you. I knew you had to been. It had to been some kind of DC going on. You did.
Yo, for
But
real, man.
listen here. Um, we have tried to make these fights happen with the people, but by all means, understand that Dev is the youngest of the crop, so we ain't going nowhere like that DMX record. You know what I'm saying? We right here, you know, and like I said, I don't think that there's too many camps and too many teams that are going in hostile areas. You know what I mean? And answering all the tough questions. You know, and we don't have a fight right now. So I mean, you knock that off. We do have a date where we can get some money, but we don't have an opponent. You know what I'm saying? We don't have
Yeah,
an opponent. So Eddie Hearn and our partners in Matchroom is trying to get together. We're all trying to collectively get together the best suitable opponent. Of course, on Devin's part, what we say on our part is Eddie, whoever you bring. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to mess the money up, you know? And you know, going into that we didn't got into this kind of you know, like for example, a fighter like Rolly, you know, that to me, I would like to see that fight. No, you laughing, but I would like to see that fight. I would like to see all of the fights, right? As a fight fan, right?
yeah.
You know, but
He'll beat Rolly ass.
yeah, beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, he'll
But
beat the shit out of Rolly.
right. But in order to make a fight like that happen, we got to get everybody on board. And you start by putting your name in the hat. You start by making yourself available. If you know, and that's all that we can do as a team, the Haney team. You know what I'm saying? If Dev had told me last night, like, hold up, Dad, you know what I'm saying? I ain't feeling this shit, or I'm you know, I want to do something else, you know what I mean? And then I wouldn't be driving, you know, his brand as hard as I drive it every day. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
drive it and I try to introduce to people to people. I try to introduce his brand to people that, you know what I'm saying, aren't accustomed to I'm seeing Devin and seeing a champion that's young, that owns his own company, that negotiates his deals. You know what I mean? You know,
so
and you know, it's just a testament to him.
Had with Barbershop Fred when you jumped on. And one of the things that really caught me was, you know, you really wanted to negotiate to talk about the Teofimo situation. And the first thing he said is he wanted to talk to Eddie Hearn. But to me, I felt that was kind of just a little bit disrespectful, knowing that Devin Haney Promotions is his own promotional company, and you have the ability to negotiate for Devin in a deal to try to make that fight with T.O. And he said that he wanted to speak with Eddie. How did you feel about that?
You know, I didn't like that. I didn't like it none. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it at all. If you're able to openly discuss Devin, you know what I mean, to the world and talk about Devin and cast your opinion on Devin, then I'm gonna pull up on you. And if we got to talk about it on air, you know what I'm saying, negotiate it on air, then we're going to negotiate it wherever you got down at, wherever you got mad at, you know what I'm saying, wherever you made the statement. Now, if you're not saying anything, then I'm not gonna say nothing. But if you are like on the internet and you talking about that,
not connected to power.
You're discussing death, then I'm gonna call on there and discuss it with you. When he said then, he's not, you know, or whatever, or um talk to
Eddie.
talk to Eddie or whatever. I just think that, you know what I'm saying, that was Bob in the hot seat. It would be the same way if somebody from Earl Spencer's team called in and wanted to negotiate. You know what I mean? Then what do you say? You know what I'm saying? So you know, the people got a chance to see what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
You
And they
know,
know.
you know, Bill, you have a personal relationship with Lopez Senior.
Hmm.
Have you talked to him in the last personal days to try to work it out between you two as fathers to try to get
Yeah.
this
No,
fight that the people want to happen?
yeah, I called him. He haven't been answering.
You know the current, you know, because currently the situation is with Cambosa. I think that fight won't be able to happen over there because of I think the travel restrictions. So you think
Man,
they'll be?
haven't y'all seen by this shit by now? You
You went out for a second, Bill.
You did, Bill?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of already tell. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the real is gonna always prevail. You know what I'm saying? They come with this bullshit instead of just keeping it real and then letting Devin live up to that and prove that and stand on that. But people come with all kind of other narratives. You know what I'm saying? And false narratives, I should say at that. And you know, ain't nothing stopping us, brother. We're focused. You know what I'm saying? We about to go to the gym in a minute. You know what I'm saying? We was in the gym late last night, you know, and yeah, it started out when we started it out. If you ever followed Devin, it was Devin Haney versus everybody. So we've been up on this shit. We've been knew how motherfuckers was gonna act. And you know what I'm saying? We ready, you know. And a time of peace, you prepare for war. We right in the middle of this shit right now. So we well prepared for sure.
You know, I got to ask you, Bill, what is your cutoff time as far as negotiations with a TO? Just knowing that more than likely you're looking at what, March or April for a fight?
Every fight for Devin, all 24 of them have been, you know what I'm saying, different. You know what I mean? And the different times and stuff. I don't think we've ever developed any standard time. You know, we just know that, you know, come fight night, we would like to have the best fighter in there for Devin. At first, you know, going, you know, I guess, you know, maturing in the sport, we always put the best one in there for his development. You know, as he developed and he's developed. Now we put the best one in there for the money.
You know, I heard you speaking with the manager for Javier Fortuna. How close is that situation to coming to fruition as far as a fight between Devin Haney and Fortuna if the situation with T.O. doesn't pan out? Because I know you don't want to get into a situation like you had did with Gary going back and forth to get a fight done because, you know, like, not of your doing, but, you know, the talks were that they sent over a contract to you as far, I'm talking about T.O. at this time, and that never happened.
Right.
So you don't want to get in a situation.
Ironically, it's very similar, but it's similar in the sense of this is nothing that doesn't go on in boxing. It just this has slightly been magnified with social media and with the fact that Devin was birthed on social media. You know what I'm saying? He was born on YouTube. He was born on you know, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So his voice is loud and proud on Instagram, on YouTube, and sometimes, you know, some of the other promoters don't want to rock like that, but they want to cast a doubt on it, on the way of our business practices when they've and have had old media for a long time, and they've been using them, you know what I mean, to drive narratives. So when you talk about fucking with us, you fucking with something that's all totally different, a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? And I told him that from the beginning when I came. You know what I'm saying? I told him that we had a different situation, that we was bosses, and you're gonna keep, as time go on, you're gonna keep seeing and understanding what that really means.